amounts to judicial rascality if this were to persist. Act 959 remains valid, in force, and unrepealed. The Supreme Court has not spoken. President Mahama himself, in December, was publicly praising the OSP. We call it settings. It's part of the settings. You are praising something in public, and behind the scene, you are seeking to uproot it. The AG filed submissions at the Supreme Court siding substantially with the plaintiff. And this is one situation where the defendant and the plaintiff are the same. And in musical parlance, we say, I and my shorty are one. And we call on the OSP to immediately appeal the decision of the High Court and immediately also apply for a stay of execution at the High Court. And we dare also add that he must also proceed to the Supreme Court with a writ of certiorari to quash the decision of the High Court. The Attorney General must be summoned before Parliament to account for his position. We call on President Mahama to come clean with Ghanaians. He cannot continue to claim publicly that he supports the OSP while his own Attorney General argues for its constitutional destruction at the High Court. Effectively nullify the provisions of an Act of Parliament on constitutional grounds. This would amount to judicial rascality if this were to persist. 959 remains valid, in force, and unrepealed. The Supreme Court has not spoken. President Mahama himself, in December, was publicly praising the OSP. We call it settings. It's part of the settings. You are praising something in public, and behind the scene, you are seeking to uproot it. The AG filed submissions at the Supreme Court siding substantially with the plaintiff. And this is one situation where the defendant and the plaintiff are the same. And in musical parlance, we say, I and my shorty are one. And we call on the OSP to immediately appeal the decision of the High Court and immediately also apply for a stay of execution at the High Court. And we dare also add that he must also proceed to the Supreme Court with a writ of certiorari to quash the decision of the High Court. The Attorney General must be summoned before Parliament to account for his position. We call on President Mahama to come clean with Ghanaians. He cannot continue to claim publicly that he supports the OSP while his own Attorney General argues for its constitutional destruction at the High Court.
And that's where straight away we get into the conversation. All of you who have joined us. I see Ras Kotokawa, who has joined us on Facebook as well. Ikuya Boatamam, thank you for joining our stream live on TV3 as well as the other relevant social media platforms. Prince Daniel York, Manini Mani, and the rest of all those who are regular viewers. I see Robert as well. And then there's an account called Equal Rights, who says, who has already started commenting on the subject. Samuel Kati, I see you as well. Make sure you share the stream. Let's have some great conversations this morning. Promises to be quite educative as well. Indeed, that's what the whole conversation has been in relation to the OSP, the position either taken by the Attorney General on one hand, but also parties to the suit itself. And subsequently, we also know what the outcomes have been. We're waiting also for that outcome of the Supreme Court ruling on the subject. And then we can mainstream it within the conversations. And it's all about the relevance, and then on one hand, the posture of government in general. Indeed, that has been the thrust of that press conference that was addressed by the Member of Parliament for Gushegu, who also is a lawyer by profession or practice. And so knows what he's saying, but you know, everybody has an interpretation when it comes to the law. At least that's what my friends who are lawyers tell me. But how do we posit this conversation going forward? And that's what we're here to do this morning. I have some great people who will be helping us do the discussion. And Dr. Joshua Jebuntie Zato is here. He's a regular on Wednesdays if he has the time and is in town. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Roland. Good morning. Good morning. Nice to be here.
Good to have you as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
And then a man whose poster I saw when we were doing community manifesto, I watched in his constituency, ultimately won that election substantively, the member of parliament for Kwesimin team. Ifia Kwesimin team.
Now we've splitted it into Ifia and Kwesimin team.
Okay, so you are with Ifia.
That's correct.
My apologies to you.
Come on, that's fine.
For misrepresenting your constituency. And he represents the good people or constituents of Ifia in the secondary Takrade metropolis. And lawyer Yao Boamanyako is here. It's the first time he's on my panel, so that's a good. I've been monitoring him around, so we'll have some great conversations thereof. And then, of course, the chairman of the Common Sense family on our platform, Solomon Owusu, is an entrepreneur, but also politician, currently director of communication when it comes to the UP. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Roland, and good morning to my co-panelists. And Roland, this morning, just a quick one. The Foreign Ministry and this government must, as a matter of urgency, hold the South African High Commissioner to answer certain questions because of a video that I cited circulating.
What was the video about?
A Ghanaian, an innocent Ghanaian, humiliated by more than 15 South Africans. It cannot be. We cannot just gloss over it. That as Africans, we cannot be moving around. We have more than, for Christ's sake, 5,000 South Africans living in Ghana. We have South African businesses thriving here. In fact, they own this economy. The goldfish diamond that we recently gave it to EMP was a South African company. So you cannot get people from Afosa who has lived in this country, will continue to live in South Africa, and allow some lunatics, all in the name of xenophobic attacks, to be attacking innocent Ghanaians. Then the High Commissioner of South Africa, this government must begin to up the game and call the High Commissioner to answer to Ghanaians why South Africans living in Ghana must live here. It's as simple as that.
I thought it was only with Nigerians.
No. Now they have extended it to Ghanaians.
They accosted a Ghanaian.
Exactly. And the humiliation, I have never felt humiliated like what I saw. I haven't been able to sleep.
They were telling him to return to his country.
Return to his country. Go and fix your problem. Meanwhile, the lady who was leading the attack, she has not even fixed the wig. The wig would not even be... I mean, come on.
So she herself has not fixed her problem.
She has to fix the wig, which is the first problem.
So your issue is that the foreign minister should summon the South African
immediately. She has to explain. She has some explanation to do to the people of this country to reassure so that there does not happen reprisals. Because you see, when they allow some of these things to fester, those ignoramus living in South Africa, when they are freedom fighters at a point where using Ghanaian passports, they don't know their history. They made it to sing Sarafina, shed crocodile tears for nothing, only to be paid back with such humiliation. No, this cannot happen. And I expect action from the High Commissioner. The government of the day, the Foreign Ministry, together with this government, must cause the High Commissioner of South Africa to speak to this matter.
All right. We'll point to notice.
Very well.
All right. Lawyer Boamanyako, let me start with you. So the thrust of the argument of the minority is what? Really?
Right. Thank you, and a very good morning again to our cherished viewers and to the good people of Ifia. And thanks for having me on your show, as you rightly said. This is my first time of being in studio at TV3. And good morning to my already fired panelists.
Solomon and Jebuntie, they're always like that.
I'm sitting between two firebrands.
I'm sitting between two.
And don't mind them. They drink coffee and come and sit. Please continue, Lawyer Boamanyako. Pay no heat.
Basically,
to sabotage.
You wanted to finish using your time.
Basically,
yes.
the minority had this press conference yesterday to bring to the attention of Ghanaians some development we think is becoming a bit worrying in terms of our fight against corruption in this country. We all see over time that we've not been able to empower a lot of our institutions to fight corruption. And if you look at historically, even when Commission for Human Rights and Administrative Justice was established, they veered into issues around corruption-related matters. And any time Shraj had made some findings against state officials as part of their investigations, it had been shut down by the court because of excess of jurisdiction. And so coming into 2017, 2018, the clarion call by Ghanaians was to see how best we could provide some strengthening of institutions in the area of our fight against corruption. The conversation had been whether to decouple the powers of the Attorney General from the Minister of Justice. So we create an independent Minister of Justice, which will have the power to prosecute all matters without fear or favor. And in so doing, we knew you had to go through the constitutional amendment route, because it is an entrenched provision in Article 88. You remember the Attorney General's office is the only office that is provided in the Constitution in terms of a Minister of State, and he's been given clear functions to be the sole body or person to initiate and prosecute cases in Ghana. So with the coming into being of the OSP Act, the wisdom of Parliament was not to amend the Constitution, but to provide an avenue for the OSP to initiate and prosecute cases related to only corruption and corruption-related functions. If you look at the OSP law, if you look at its mandate from Section 3 to Section 4, it makes provision that the OSP can initiate prosecution under the authorization of the Attorney General. And that is consistent with the constitutional provision, because any attempt to take that power of the AG will be unconstitutional. The question is on how is the OSP supposed to initiate those cases by the authorization of AG. That authorization primarily may come through an executive instrument. If you look at state institutions like SNET and GRA, they've been able to take some authorization from the Attorney General. Or
even Yoko.
Exactly, Yoko and the rest, to be able to initiate cases. So I find it a bit worrying, the basis upon which we have to come this whole circle, as if we want to go downgrade and then take all the prosecutorial powers from the special prosecutor to satisfy a political end. And I'm saying this because, you see, when you look at the body posturing of the NDC in this regard, I've been in Parliament, there had been no clarity from the time they were in opposition that they have issues with the Special Prosecutor's Office. It was never part of their manifesto that they will scrap it. It was never been part of their agenda, like they were strongly against even the EC and the Chief Justice. We never had issues with the OSP until Martin Pebu was arrested by the OSP.
How does that become the subject matter? Because I noticed Lawyer Ijapames also was here on Monday. He also canvassed same points by way of the messaging in relation to the argument of the opposition MPP on the subject, that perhaps the summoning of Martin Pebu has become the turning point, so-called, of the NDC and their position on the existence and the legality of the OSP. So
I'm bringing that. Martin is a very good brother. And the issue is sitting in Parliament. If you look at the posturing, and that's why I went back to, this has never been an issue. I've been an ardent critic of Kisi Jabin in Parliament. I've been the sole person who raised the issue about the budget that is given to the OSP, what has been its yield. The OSP has not performed according to expectation and standard. And now I've called for his removal or to find an alternative of replacing the special prosecutor. But the office itself cannot be a subject of being downgraded or being taken away to fight corruption. So the position I have taken, and that of our party, is not the person of the special prosecutor. We are looking at the office, whether the office is relevant in our fight against corruption. And I'm saying that until the Prebu case happened, sitting in parliament, there has not been any clear position of the NDC to go against taking away the office. And that is why 5 days after this incident, why would Dafia Mepo and our leader, Mahama Yariga, by a private member's application, seek to take away the office of the special prosecutor? And it was because of the vociferous nature they came out strongly, and it came as a result of the arrest. So it is not just to say that Martin Prebu is the cause of the fight to take away the powers of the special prosecutor, but that is where we saw that stance. Now, the president clearly stated that he is against that attempt to fight the office and the rest. We should allow the office to run.
Are you saying that the two members of parliament, be it be in their own legal position to be petitioners on that subject before the court, on the legality or relevance of the OSP to be able to prosecute cases, so-called, cannot be taken, that stand cannot be taken. And so if they take that stance, then it's at variance to the position of government and the party NDC?
Oh, I think I've not gone even to that area yet. I was building a trajectory in terms of, because the governance of this country is in the hands of a political party led by John Dramani Mahama. And they are supposed to be the people to protect the institutions of state. So you want to see the body posturing, whether they are committed in protecting state institutions mandated to fight corruption. And they say, Agrobeso if you are not. And if so, let's proceed from there. So basically, the posturing of the party or the government from where they sought to dismantle the office is where we've come from. In terms of someone going to court and calling for an interpretation, calling on the original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court to interpret whether the OSP Act is consistent or inconsistent with Article 88 of the Constitution, or someone going to the High Court to say that the OSP needs authorization from the Attorney General to put. That is a right inherent in any Ghanaian to go to court, even if it is motivated by someone or otherwise. It's irrelevant.
But the MPP has a problem with that.
No, there's no problem. What has been our problem?
So why is that the outcome from the High Court ruling becomes a subject?
So
disagreement.
So the High Court decision, everybody has a right to critique it. So from a legal perspective, I know that the High Court judge overreached his functions. Okay, he went in excess of, because the ability to interpret a constitutional provision is a sole jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. Okay, so, and when the High Court is a court of first instance in terms of making determinations of acts of parliament, if the judge had laid his foundation and stayed within the functions of the OSP per OSP Act, I wouldn't have an issue.
So there was an overreach?
No, of course.
Okay. Do you think, based on that press conference, the president, despite his earlier pronouncement, post the filing of those two, or those two individuals filing that case before the court, or the suit before the court, do you think he still needs to make a public pronouncement again, and then to what end?
No, so you see, the president has the power to protect institutions of state unless he doesn't believe in it.
So what should he do again?
Oh, now my call for the president to make a public statement on it is to give, you see, now what is the outcome of the decision of the High Court? The judge made certain declarations that even cases that have been determined by the court should be quashed. He's saying that even sentences that have been imposed by the court should be taken away. And that completely breaks this accountability and our fight against corruption. So you want the president to be bold, to be strong, and say that, hey, I'm waiting on the Supreme Court to make its final determination on the matter. We are all bound by the position of the Supreme Court. And so I'll wait for it. But until that is done, my position is still clear. I stand with the Special Prosecutor's Office. We need to find a way to strengthen our institutions to fight corruption, because if you leave it in the arms of an executive appointee, then at the end of the day, you cannot guarantee that in our...
Joshua, I'm sure you've analyzed since the last week and since that ruling was made, subsequently, or the judgment in itself, and then subsequently what the conversations have been. Do you think that the posture of the individuals who are key members of cabinet in themselves provide a different or a parallel position of the president himself, and so that's why for a second time that call needs again to be heeded too, particularly it coming from the leading opposition in Parliament?
Once again, thank you. You see, I must say that this morning I am scandalized and betrayed that the acolytes and the prophets of oral are working assiduously, and some of them Nicodemously, to kill the OSP. I'm scandalized and betrayed because the raison d'etre of the OSP, the reason why the OSP was established, aligns perfectly well with the raison d'etre, the reasons why oral was formed. And so I want to believe that any organization, any institution that is working seriously to achieve the central and the core tenets of the objectives of oral should receive praise and hallelujahs from the men and women who brought us oral. But rather, that's not what's happening. What is happening is that you are seeing that these same people who want to retrieve the loot, the same people who want to use every means to achieve the truth, are the same people fighting and assiduously working to dismantle an office that is also helping it to work on the same thing. Then, let me ask one question. What are they afraid of? The prophets of oral, what are you afraid of? The acolytes of oral, what are you afraid of? If you truly mean oral, if you truly believe in oral, why are you today afraid of your shadows? I've said this. Powerful people in government are afraid of the OSP. Powerful people in government are afraid of their shadows. Powerful people are afraid of, because they believe and they know that this OSP, and when they may come for them, they may investigate them. And that is why all these things are happening, aim at what? Dismantling that office. And when they do that, they confuse and conflict the agency with the office. I'll come that. We need a small background, consensus. Every Ghanaian, since I've started, believe that we have a problem with regime accountability in this country. Regime accountability, because they believe that the office of the Attorney General and the Minister of Justice being together conflicts and doesn't lead to what? Proper investigation of what? Corruption issues. Everybody agrees on that.
Actually, since the 10
that's exactly.
There's always been an argument whether to decouple or to amend.
So that's what I'm saying. Let's start with the consensus and let's build this up here. This consensus, and everybody agrees that that office in an officer is complicit when it comes to these issues, and that we cannot trust that office too. In fact, it's because of that people have even asked for what? The separation, the coupling of that office, to have the Attorney General and the Minister of Justice. We've not done that. We've not been able to find a way about that. Too. And we've said that it's precisely because of that the regime accountability is suffering or has suffered in this country. We've said that too. You move to the case for OSP and oral. The former government was trying to also deal with these particular issues. How do we make sure that we have an independent office that is capable of that, can investigate government without it what? Having its neutrality or independence subsumed or consumed by the Attorney General. And that is how we came out with OSP. OSP may be an imperfect tool to do a strong and a perfect job. Sometimes we do that. We can use a tool that, because when you are fighting corruption, perfection is not a solution. Effectiveness is what you are looking for. So the OSP may be imperfect, has demonstrated it's not perfect, but it has been able to do something. It is this same OSP that investigated powerful people. It is this same OSP's conclusion that made the former SP use unflattering words to describe a former president. And so when the NDC announced oral, I saw that for now, the objectives of oral and the OSP, what? They are mutually inclusive. Mutually inclusive. So it means that they all have one objective, to make sure that impunity is withdrawn, impunity is destroyed in our body politic. So you would then think that these acolytes of oral will be those fighting strongly to make the OSP stronger, so that both can coexist. So that whilst the Attorney General is going after oral, the OSP will also be going after what oral. At the end of the day, they are all doing the same thing, making sure that looters of this country, people who are accused of this country, will be done. But that's not. So that is the consensus. Look, we've seen similar things happen in the past, and that is where these acolytes, these people...
The past when? From which time?
Shiraj. I remember Shiraj under Emil Shot. When Shiraj investigated people. Shiraj was one of the most feared, deadly feared institutions in this country, especially apart from the after that ruling, after those lessons. There was a white paper. But after that, Shiraj has increasingly, policymakers have increasingly rendered Shiraj a toothless bulldog. Increasingly. After that high-profile investigation, I'm yet to see one.
We had one time the commissioner for Shiraj removed.
Exactly. I'm making the point. So you're coming to my point. So successfully and increasingly, policymakers, powerful people in government are always afraid of what? Powerful independent institutions. That's the point I'm making. So they successfully worked, and now they've rendered Shiraj, if in my objective, what? Toothless. The same thing is what they are trying to now do to the OSP with this hostility. And that's what I'm saying. I'm surprised at scandal like this morning. It was the minority, the majority that came out trying to what? Completely what? Destroy the OSP. It took the intervention, direct intervention of the president to tell them to drop that bill. Today, it is one. Secondly, and that's what I'm talking about. What? The villains of the OSP. It was first the majority. They did it. It was stopped. If you look at the speed and the alacrity with which the Attorney General is saying that they will collect the cases of OSP, it tells you there was something premeditated. Immediately it is done, we say, oh, we will quickly, immediately take steps to retrieve these cases. Were you waiting for it? Why wasn't the Attorney General outraged by that decision? I would have expected that they will be outraged at that ruling, and they will be those saying that we will help them to immediately appeal this ruling. Not that they should be those salvation over the carcass of that situation.
What should they do?
As I'm saying that,
if
I expected that they would have also expressed outrage.
The of law say it's an overreach.
Yes, Roland, but you can express outrage.
So the Attorney General should hold before him the High Court judge?
No.
So what are you saying?
Good. Express outrage. Publicly state your position that you are outraged at this ruling and that you are going to help appeal it. Optics matter, and they matter very well in these issues. If you do that, they will know that you are on the side of this, because you cannot do anything about the ruling. You can appeal it. At the end of the day, what the court says, you must obey. But to just say that, oh, immediately the rule I've agreed, I'm like, wait a minute. Were you waiting for this? Isn't that this is what you're waiting for? All of a sudden, they've just given you, and you are now running with so much speed and alacrity. That is what it looked like. And it looked like they never had the back of the OSP. Okay. 3, who are the heroes of the situation we are right now? The biggest heroes are civil society organizations.
What have they done?
Every single civil society organization that has come out to condemn both the ruling and the actions of the Attorney General, you are a hero for corruption. Every single civil society organization that came together, they have now filed amicus, whatever it is, they file to help fight this case. You are a hero of corruption. History will remember you. Posterity will remember you. History will remember that when there was a time when people were trying to dismantle a strong institution for fight corruption, you stood up to support that organization. You went to court and you did it, because no matter what happens, you have written your name in ink. Something happened this year when we looked at the corruption index, if you remember. Ghana moved just one step up. Transparency International and all these reports indicate that part of the reason was that they felt that institutions and organizations that were supposed to fight corruption were under siege. It's in their report. They specifically mentioned the OSP and others for being under siege. What do you think this will do to our corruption perception index when these things are happening, and when it seems that the government and people are happy about that?
Let me ask you this. This is former Speaker of Parliament,
yes,
Professor Aaron Michael. You know him very well.
Yes, I know. He taught me Asian and medieval
aside being a Speaker of Parliament, he's a strong member
smart,
of and then
excellent academic,
a leading elder of the MPP.
I know that one too, yes.
Okay.
He even contested for to be MPP flag bearer one time.
And he says that in this instant case and all matters and the arguments being made on the current position of the OSP, the Constitution takes precedence. And then also have here with me Aiko Otu, a former Attorney General. You know him very well.
No, not very well. Not well as Michael
personal,
Quay.
I'm talking about
Yeah, of course. I've heard his name. Yeah. Good
his
lawyer.
public image
He was a lawyer for Tokunu, right?
And then also his
former Ghana ambassador.
Former AG as well.
Thank you. Yeah.
And he says that there was a problem at the foundational level when the OSP was granted those powers, not taking cognizance of what Article 88 says.
Yes.
Do you think they're wrong as well?
No, I'm not saying they're wrong. They are lawyers. I'm not a lawyer. I cannot say they are wrong.
Okay.
That's
How do you situate
That's what, if you remember me saying.
How do you situate the position they hold today to the instant case of the argument you make?
Yes, the point. So this one, remember me saying that the OSP is an imperfect organization tool used to fight a very prominent and a noble job? You can do that sometimes. So far, he's doing that. So far, there are people behind it. It is prosecuting, right? So far, it is trying to do what Oral wants to do. So it's an imperfect tool. I'm not talking about its perfections. I'm talking about what it is doing, its aims and its objectives. That it is in the gutters fighting to prevent impunity. It is in the gutters fighting against what? Corruption. It is doing that. So for me, what happens is that we have an objective, we have a plan. We shouldn't be seen to be nibbling as it tools. We shouldn't be seen to be trying to dismantle it. That's the point I'm making. The posture of the NDC, the majority, and the Attorney General, and Honorable Martin Kpebu, the thing that annoys me about annoys me and disappoints me.
You leave out the posture of the former Attorney General and then also the former Speaker of Parliament.
They are not in power. Okay, let me add them. The posture of the NDC, majority in Parliament, Attorney General, and former Speaker of Parliament, and this is because in the case of Martin Kpebu, you were a member of what? Oral. You said the state stood a chance of what? Retrieving how many billions? If you look at the amount of money that the OSP is investigating now, it will form a big chunk of the money you thought you could achieve through Oral. That is a fact. So now they are doing this. Who are those celebrating today? If I am being investigated by the OSP right now, I should be singing my hallelujahs on Hosannas. My lawyer should be going to court immediately to stop everything happening. I don't know whether it will amount to double jeopardy. There are lawyers here, big lawyers here. They may tell me whether if that case dropped, they can again. But there are those going to happen. Anybody being investigated today by the OSP, anybody standing trial by OSP today will be happier. So the question is, have we gone, or as a country, have we come? What are we doing? So the legality can be there. But my point is, we can use policy. We need big support. People need to come out and say, we support the OSP. Let's give the OSP political support. I want to try to end on this because I know you're in me. We always said that we know corruption is one of the biggest challenges to our national development. And the biggest hindrance to corruption, we always said that, is political support. We said that. Political commitment. In this instant case, when it comes to what the OSP is doing or can do or should do, it is not getting the political backing and the political support it needs to be a strong institution against corruption. It's not getting it. It doesn't. There's nothing to show. There's nothing to demonstrate that politicians and policymakers are committed and dedicated to what? Giving it the backing it needs to do its job. And for me, that is a travesty. Yeah. For me, that is wrong, because as a country that says you're committed to corruption, you should be seen to be fighting until the last nail. Even if you lose at the Supreme Court, you still go for appeal. What is it called? After you've lost. Do everything possible to demonstrate your will. They have the political will. Right now, there's no political will for the OSP. Everybody's leaving the OSP alone. And when you do that, you are leaving a damage on our fight around corruption. Okay. Posterity will not be fair to us. Transparency International will be fair to us. Okay. Future leaders will say that we sat down and we allowed this institution to die. It's not the right thing.
All right. So Edu Gitamoklu is in his office watching us on the TV screen. He said, just look at how Zato and then my lawyer friend and senior are backing in the studio and then making their strong positions on this. When they were empowered, they passed the OSP and they knew the problems there are. I have to strongly object to the empaneling today. Two strong MPP members against one NDC rep. My senior Honorable Boama of the Energy Committee of Parliament with backing vocalist Dr. Zato of Sisalais. This is intimidating. Edu Gitamoklu.
Oh, Edu.
Talking about that, I have lawyer Kojoga Daudu who has joined us. Good morning to you. How are you?
Good morning.
You're well, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm good.
You've monitored them. I mean, and then you've monitored the discussion so far. Your observations so far. Who has been right before the passage of the OSP Act in itself, the workings of the OSP, and then currently the brouhaha that confronts us as a country?
Let me start by saying that if this NDC or John Mahama administration strongly believes that the current OSP and the office will do any justice to corruption, then they might be living in a fool's paradise. They are not there to serve the interests of this country. It explains why an innocent Ghanaian will go to South Africa, trying to leave the shores of this country, to go and look for a better opportunity and being humiliated. People have stolen from us, and we are using semantic jargons just to allow people who have stolen from us to keep our money.
Okay.
I mean, I am so surprised and scandalized by the sort of arguments that I've heard this morning. It means the MPP itself is so disjointed, disorganized. Because I have heard a number of NPP party members who disagree vehemently with the position that was taken by Tampoli. You mentioned Speaker Michael Quinn. In fact, he was a speaker when the bill became a law. You get my point. Ayiko too has also expressed an opinion. In fact, as for Nana J. Bafowa,
lawyer,
the Soloku MP, the Soloku MP.
A member of Parliament for Misha South.
No, he is known for the Soloku business.
Please go ahead.
As for him,
what's your point?
He was so clear that it has to be scrapped.
I thought recently I heard him.
Yeah, on the 1st of April, 2026.
No, but recently I heard him saying that, I think it was on.
No, he was on tape. I watched him on the UTV vehemently explaining why the OSP's office and the SP himself must be done away with. And so if you have a political party that one session is saying that this does not have any legal back in terms of the independence that they are yearning for, and you have another part of the party also saying that, look, it is settings, then I want to believe that this administration must have an eagle eye to take a critical look at them, because the settings that they are talking about clearly is them that are doing the settings. You see the video that is on the screen. Mm-hmm. The one reading the press.
Tampoli. Lawyer Hassan Tampoli.
Hassan Tampoli.
What about
the one? What about the one on right?
Also there.
What about the one standing right to Tampoli? What's the name?
Jerry.
No,
but do you know his name?
No. I want to know. Do you know his name?
No, I don't.
Duke Oforiatta. Yes. You understand? So Duke Oforiatta, the brother of Ken Oforiatta, is agreeing.
Are they brothers?
No, they are brothers. They are brothers. No, they are brothers. They are. So
okay. What's your point with this? The fact that they have the same family name.
You see, when you were speaking, I kept quiet.
I've not intervened in your song.
So let me go. You let me flow. With all my folly, let me flow. The brother of Ken Oforiatta, Duke Oforiatta, is agreeing with the minority that the OSP that is prosecuting his brother, that has given 78 charges to his brother, must stay on so that he continues to prosecute his brother. Do you agree to that? Is that a logic that you want to follow? And that's why I'm telling this administration that they must open their eyes. That if your brother is being prosecuted by an institution, that the office of the Attorney General came out to tell us that indeed they wrote multiple requests before an extradition docket was even sent to the Attorney General, is now telling us that they are so much comfortable with this special prosecutor in his office, and that they must remain, that it must send some levels of signals to you, the government, that hey, if you are going to rely on them, or you are going to rely on this special prosecutor, you are going to be laughing at the wrong side of your mouth. It does not happen. How many times have I said I don't have any confidence in a special prosecutor? And by the way, those that are saying that President Mahama must speak, President Mahama has only one mandate. His mandate is to defend the constitution of this country. Finito. He cannot rule this country by his emotions or by his whims and caprices. He can only rule or lead this country by the dictates in the constitution. What does the constitution say? You read Article 88(4).
I refer to it.
You refer to it. It's so clear. I mean, you don't need any super brain in terms of law to understand what Article 88(4) says.
All offences prosecuted in the name of the Republic of Ghana,
yes,
shall be at the suit of the Attorney General,
yes,
or any other person authorized by him,
yes,
in accordance with any law.
Absolutely. So clearly, it is the Attorney General that is supposed to initiate all prosecutions in this country. Or anybody that he authorizes. In fact, the OSP's Act under Section 4 also is so clear that he would need authorization from the Attorney General's department. So it has never been doubt that it's an agent. In fact, if you read the preamble of the OSP's own, they say it's
Section 4.
Section 4.2, it tells you that he would need that authorization from Attorney General.
Subject to Clause 4 of
Yes.
Article 88 of the Constitution.
Yes.
The office shall, for the purposes of this act, be authorized by the Attorney General
Yes.
to initiate and conduct
Yes.
the prosecution of corruption and corruption-related offences.
So what is so ambiguous about
Well,
this?
the argument being made,
Yes.
including, I believe, distinguished lawyers,
Yes.
is that by the passage of the act in itself, that's an automation. Now, go ahead.
No, it doesn't work like that. The Constitution didn't envisage that. That's why the Constitution you need. But what is so difficult about this special prosecutor in the office going for authorization from the Attorney General if they strongly believe in their cases, or if they don't have any ego issues? What is so difficult about it? You are operating under the Constitution of the land. The Constitution says you need authorization. Why wouldn't you go for it? But rather do things in your own way. Look, it goes back to why that office was set up. Because now Professor Michael Quay has made it to believe that right from the onset they knew that the independence of that office was never guaranteed. Professor Michael Quay, from his recent utterances, clearly tells us that right from the beginning they knew that there was no way the OSP will have independence because of Article 88
From the onset.
From the onset. Ayikwe Otu has also said so. So why did they come to create the impression that they were setting up an office that was independent in nature? Now that office, before it was set up, they organized workshops, they organized press conferences, they organized meetings, all at the expense of the state. Is it not willfully causing financial loss to the state? By the way, the MPP, from the time that I knew the MPP, from the 90s to the time they set up this OSP office, the argument has always been separating the Attorney General's office from the Ministry of Justice. There was nowhere that OSP came in until latter days that they believed that the Attorney General has to be independent. It tells you that, one, the motive was to deal with political opponents. Is the reason why?
So how do you draw those conclusions?
Look at the first person they appointed.
You just make a blanket statement.
No, but it's backed by the evidence, the facts of the day. That the first OSP that he appointed, Martin Amidu, at that time, Martin Amidu created the impression that he was fighting his own party. Remember the Sofoton case, you remember the Woyomi case, remember all the cases that he was following and writing epistles. So he gave the Nana Akufo-Addo Bawumia administration that encouragement, that giving the opportunity to appoint Martin Amidu, he could go for his own party people. It turned out that the man came and realized that it was not easy. Remember the Muhammad Ayaraga's case. At the point, he himself had to go back to court and find another prosecutor. By the way, those that are saying that if we sack or scrap the office of the special prosecutor, then we are not fighting corruption. How many corruption has he fought? This OSP. How many corruption? How many corruption cases has he fought? You go to court and go and charge somebody 78 charges. By the time we are done with even 10, we are already done with 20 years. You think we are small boys in this country? That is why this administration must be serious. And take a critical look at it, because the issues that we took to election 2024, Operation Recover All, the mere fact that they have not recovered, that's not mean people did not steal from us.
So they are not fulfilling that promise?
They are not. And one of the reasons is that they are placing their hopes in the SP. I petitioned the OSP's, the Office of the Special Prosecutor, on the Bawumia issue.
Which issue?
Where has it got into? The pickup issues. Where has it got into? So nobody must create the impression that they are fighting corruption or he's fighting corruption. He's not fighting any corruption. He is not. He's only there. Only time I see him on TikTok or so with some bodyguards. I don't know what they are bodyguarding. You get my point?
There are a number of cases that...
Which are the cases? Which are the cases? They are not doing anything. And so that is why I'm saying that when Matiamidu came and he failed to do their bidding, what did he do? He resigned. And in resigning, what did he say? That the president then, Nana Akufo-Addo, was the mother serpent of corruption. If we were a serious country, that statement alone would have called for a commission of inquiry why Martin Amidu could look straight into the face of a certain president and call him the mother serpent of corruption. That he is the Maradona of corruption when it comes to corruption.
It was just an opinion he shared.
Hey, You can share such an opinion about the sitting president, and guess what? The sitting president also did not see the need to take him on. Silent me concerned. It means you agreed with Martin Amidu that you were a mother serpent of corruption, because Martin Amidu had done a corruption risk assessment of a Japan royalties deal. Remember that deal? When they nearly mortgaged our gold royalties. These people. And so if anybody is sitting somewhere and think that things did not happen in this country, all of a sudden they want us to forget, and you have Tampuli coming to tell us that it's settings. Yes, it's settings. What they are doing is settings. And that
they want the president to outrightly come out publicly.
How can he come out? The president can only come out within the confines of the Constitution. And I've said that the Constitution under Article 884 is so clear that the OSP needs authorization from the Attorney General, and the Attorney General's office must be up and doing. They must take their destiny. This administration must take their destinies into their own hands and fulfill the promise of our Operation Recover or Lose. Either than that, they will leave that job for the United Party to come and do one day.
The accusation is at the posture of the Attorney General, its assigns, and then also even leading members of the NDC and their commentary and the position they've taken on this subject. Clearly, the aesthetics don't show that the NDC and the government in itself, despite what the president had said earlier, is committed to making sure that the OSP as it is able to function.
Who says so?
The critics.
The critics. Listen, OSP, right? OSP. Is it the only institution that is fighting corruption? IOCO is absent. IOCO doesn't fight corruption. CID doesn't fight corruption. Attorney General doesn't fight corruption. BNI doesn't do it. It's only OSP that fights every corruption in this country. Is that what we are being told today? Is that what we are being told today? These are the same people. You see, we've been fighting corruption even before the inception of OSP. And how did OSP come about? You see, I'll forgive sometimes Dr. Zato. I've heard what he has said. You know, it's a sentiment. It's about political processes that even when there should be fidelity to the law, we should close our eyes. We should gloss over the law. Then, because we said we want the OSP, I appreciate it, because maybe the tenant of the law, he understands but may not appreciate what exactly the OSP law is about. Now, you see, OSP was a political promise.
Political promise.
Yes. Let me come in. You see, I will not mince word. I will not mince word.
It was passed in the Parliament of Ghana, which is a constitutional composition of both sides of the political divide.
It was in the manifesto of the NPP during the Akufo-Addo when he came, and that they were going to bring OSP when they said there was going to be separation of an independent prosecutor, as was crafted in the NACAP by the first Mahama administration. Now, when they came and they brought this, they realized that there was a problem. And that problem was the Constitution, Article 88. What did they do? You know, I was part of the delegation that went when we had to discuss this OSP at Alisa. I went there with Koku Anido, who at the time he was the deputy. We raised issues and saying that if you want this, you cannot tinker with Article 88.4. Article 88.4 will not allow you, because it's a constitutional mandate, injunction given to the Attorney General.
Entrenched one.
And if it is entrenched, Parliament cannot purport to take that mandate and give it to the OSP.
Those arguments were made?
Right, it was made. And they knew. By the end of the day, hasn't it been confirmed by Martin Amidu that he discussed with the president that there will be a problem? They were going to have a problem because Article 88. The Speaker of Parliament at the time, didn't he say, Ayiko Otu, hasn't he come? They knew the problem. But because it was a political process and promise, they pushed it. And they didn't want to go through constitutional amendment, because the president at the time didn't want to go through constitutional amendment. So they found a way. And now that they found a way, they kept quiet. They knew that this thing, when they think of Article 88, one day it will come. And today, thank God, the judge in the High Court, he was not timorous.
No, what show that he's overreaching?
No, wait.
You know him, distinguished lawyer.
Wait. Overreach how? What did he do?
That was an overreach,
No, he
That's the argument.
applied the law. He never interpreted the law. You see, they've been going and saying that the man interpreted the law. He never interpreted. Read the judgment. He applied the law and said that, where is your authorization? Parliament says, even if you want to prosecute, go for authorization. Show us authorization. Now you come and say the law, the act of parliament and the LI is your authorization. And there are precedents which shows that when they say authorization, it is executive instrument that is given by the Attorney General. Like he's given to the police, he's given to Forestry Commission, he's given to other institutions and people to prosecute. The mere fact that if he doesn't go for authorization, are we saying the OSP cannot do its investigations? The law says you can do investigations.
Like you can't prosecute.
No, it says if you want to prosecute, then go for authorization. So are we saying because you don't have authorization, OSP is collapsed?
That's
they
not
can't
the
do.
argument.
Is that the argument?
Okay.
Is that the argument they are making? The law is saying that go for authorization. If you want to prosecute.
Like Kojoganda, let me ask you. You're a very experienced, distinguished lawyer. Indeed, I started interviewing you over 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you, if based on your own practice and experience, it is a fact that you need authorization based on your position.
Yeah.
What sort of authorization in your thinking are you arguing about? Is it a case-by-case authorization or?
If the authorization is that the Attorney General will give you an established executive instrument, just like the police. You know, he's just giving them, delegates that power and says that police can prosecute. So you find the police prosecuting in the circuit court and the district court. Forestry Commission, right? When they arrest their people, because they have that authorization, they don't need to go back to Attorney General to prosecute. And that has been the precedent. So all Attorney General is, if you apply for, I will give you the authorization. And I'm saying that if authorization is not given to you, doesn't mean your office has been collapsed. It doesn't mean so, because you have so many functions and mandates. So why are you taking as if the prosecution, you can't do it by yourself or your officers, it means that
So they can undertake other duties as assigned in the law.
Why not? The law has given them the mandate. Why are they focusing only on authorization that they want to prosecute? Now, let me tell you, you see, the plethora of issues. You say we are fighting corruption, is only the OSP. The Abu Gapele, the Jida case, was it not fighting corruption? The argument wait. The argument they are giving is that the cabinet minister sits with another cabinet minister in cabinet, so he cannot prosecute him. So is the law targeted, or fighting corruption is targeted at the person who sits at
What's
the
your
cabinet?
point? That there's been a
It is
precedent.
everybody. Are you getting? Corruption is about everybody who has public office and have used it for his benefit. So it's not like the argument because we sit together, I can't prosecute him. We have seen. Was Abu Gapele not sitting? Wasn't he a minister and the rest? The National Service, Alaji, when he was prosecuted, right? There was allegation that yes, suspicion was not fighting corruption. You see, I don't want to. The other examples, maybe even Woyume, advisedly, when there was an allegation that he was involved in some corruption, didn't we hear the NDC say, Woyume? When the High Court convicted and said this, all freed him, and went to Court of Appeal. Court of Appeal freed him. Court of Appeal because of our allegation. Were they not fighting corruption? So it is only OSP. because he doesn't have authorization, everything has fallen. Ghana will not fight corruption. Nothing's been done. So all the other institutions, they are not fighting corruption. Listen, they knew, and it has been confirmed by Martin Amidu, by Professor Michael Quay, who was the speaker at the time, that this is what has happened. And the judge has just applied the law. He never purported to interpret. You see, interpretation, the law says that if everything you catch, by your relief, and you send it to court, and you think that because of that, the court's jurisdiction is ousted, it's not true. That is why the law says that every case that comes, even if it's a constitutional matter, you look at it. As the High Court, you can apply already the provisions, the law.
Okay.
But if it is about interpretation, then take it to Supreme Court. Now, what was the issue that went to court? The issue says that I have found out that the OSP hasn't got authorization. And if he hasn't got authorization, right, then show us the power. The court says show us the authorization. The court never said, I'm going to interpret Article 88.4 and Section 4. The court never did that. Now, what has to be interpreted is before the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court would interpret that. And you see, when the OSP should have even informed the court, the High Court, that we have a case in the Supreme Court. They never gave that judicial notice to the judge, where the judge will refuse and say that even if it is before the Supreme Court, won't do that. That is the same thing what happened in Hamid's case. When they also said that they informed the judge that there is a case for interpretation at the Supreme Court. That was why the High Court adjourned the matter, that I will wait once you have informed me. So when they come and like, we want to collapse OSP, that is not
because
true.
as part of the president, they didn't want the president to come out publicly, even though he's made a position.
That is a wrong position. And
wrong position?
No.
Hassan Tampoli posited
why should
that press conference?
The president is the head of executive. He has nothing to do with the judiciary when it comes to cases. These are the things that they have been doing, and they think it is right. During Kufuor's time, when the issues of fast track happened, he appointed 2 judges to overturn. When the President Akufo-Addo said he was sacking OSP, Domelevo, you think they didn't know the right thing?
AG.
The AG.
The Auditor
What did he say? He said he should go to court. At the end of the day, what did we see? The time lapsed, and at the end of the day, because anytime they come, they want to tinker with the judiciary. They think that as a president or executive, they should. That is why they will be calling president, come out. When they know that what the law does is separate. The judiciary is in charge of it. Let the matter go before them. Let them interpret the law and speak. But the president should not be seen that I will speak to the judiciary that finds her. And that's the same thing. Martin Amidu's article confirmed that when he told Akufo-Addo that, look, even my age 66 years, there was going to be challenge. The president said, oh, let's leave it. Let it go to the court. You see, that is what he told him. And because they always tinker with it, they think that every president should do it. Look, let there be fidelity to the law.
I see.
And the fidelity, so
the law is the law.
And all emotional, sentimental things will not hold.
Emotional and sentimental. What do you make of it?
A lot has been said on the table, and you ask yourself, to what end? Why are we here? What do we want to protect? We've only said that nobody has indicated that there's been no fight against corruption since the inception of the Constitution. Okay, institutions have done that. The OSP's presence was to consolidate our fight against corruption, to make sure that we create an institution that is seen independent to do its work. Now, all the arguments we are saying on this table is about giving the OSP the authorization. Where does authorization come from? In fact, the OSP's budget comes to Parliament through the Attorney General. The OSP's interest, everything comes through the Attorney General. That authorization that Council has alluded to, which I mentioned earlier, the executive instrument, who gives it? It is the Attorney General. So why can't the Attorney General and the OSP work together and get that executive instrument and let the special prosecutor do his work.
Okay,
what we are seeking for, but that is the argument. So this attorney general going to court to go and defend plaintiff.
I am ready to give the authorization.
Where did he say he's ready?
Oh, Samson has said it several times.
Give it. So why can't he give it?
Let them have applied for it.
So you are saying that between the AG's office and the special prosecutor, they cannot work in unison to get the executive instrument done?
No, nobody says so.
Exactly. So we are making a lot of fuss for nothing.
Yeah.
Do you think that we have to wait for the Supreme Court then? Perhaps that will also calm the storm.
There's no inconsistency. We've said the OSP law is saying that get authorization to prosecute. The Constitution says that the power is vested in the Attorney General to prosecute. So all we are saying is that authorization, how express it is. How express is it? The OSP law is promulgated, was pushed by the Attorney General. The regulation is laid in Parliament by the Attorney General. Yes. The nomination of the OSP is under the advice of the Attorney General. So everything is done in conjunction with the Attorney General. If the difficulty of people is about getting the authorization expressed in an executive instrument, it lies in the Attorney General. The Attorney General should make sure that this becomes a reality and vest the power in the OSP to do corruption-related cases.
So we are on the same page. Authorization.
So the whole issue of AG going to side and be fighting constitution, the special prosecutor cannot initiate case and all of those things.
The confusion here is that in the High Court case, Attorney General was not part of that case.
Was not a party to the case.
It was not a party.
Yes.
You see?
Yes.
It is Attorney General is a party to the
Supreme
case
Court.
in the Supreme Court. So people are thinking that Attorney General did not do its work when it came to the High Court. Now, the difference is that in the Supreme Court, what the plaintiff is saying, the Attorney General largely agrees that when I look at the OSP law,
but that shouldn't be the position of the AG. The AG should make sure that that so-called lacuna we are talking about is fixed. That is his job. It is the job of the AG, if he really wants to fight corruption, to work with them. Why are they not all institutions of state?
Exactly.
So why, if in time past, the Attorney General believed that I've given you whether it's a tacit approval to do prosecution, and you do it, and now the matter has come to a point where you want to see express authorization in the form of an executive. You don't come to Parliament with an executive instrument. No. It is just a matter of the AG working in relation with the special prosecutor. Show that commitment to fight corruption. That is all we've said.
The posture, you think is very important in this argument. 3 minutes for you.
It's not about posture. I think sometimes we must understand that there's the law and there's the politics, the policy.
Yes.
Do you understand? And that is important. It's important because when you are looking for corruption, the law alone might be necessary, but it's not sufficient to fight corruption. The law might be necessary, but it's not only sufficient. That's why you need political commitment. That is politics, that's policy to back it up. Because we have all the laws, you just stipulated them. We have all these investigative agencies. But nobody is saying that we are winning the corruption fight in this country. We do. We have all of them. You listed them. It's true. They have been doing. Some people have been jailed. Yes. But nobody can say that we are winning the corruption fight in this country. Why? If you ask anybody, whether an academic, whether a lawyer, the biggest challenge to corruption fighting is political commitment. And these actions and the actions of powerful people in office show that that commitment is not there. It's lacking. And I've told you why. And I'm going to repeat if you told me to say. When this judgment was made, the first thing that CSOs did was to establish outreach. Every single anti-corruption agency in this country condemned that ruling. They were outraged. They were scandalized by it. It shows commitment.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you, if you want to ask me. So if you're saying we have the other bodies that also undertake corruption, and so there's an outrage because there's an unwavering position on the subject of the OSP, what has the OSP, since its establishment so far, undertaken by way of anti-graft or corruption that makes you think that if it's tinkered by way of the structure of its act, etc., or would need to seek the authorization as is so the position, if not done, could help inure to the benefit of fighting corruption? What has it done so far that for you is so unique that...
I've not said it's so unique.
Okay.
I am saying that it is part of the tools, the arsenals available to the state to fight corruption. And it can be, and it ought to be a powerful tool, a tool that we should help strengthen and make it strong enough to fight corruption. Now, here's the issue I was coming out to. The moment the ruling came out, everybody, even media houses were outraged. Even civil society organizations, Transparency International, I've heard them, all of them were outraged. The only person that wasn't outraged was the AG's office. They never condemned, they never issued anything to condemn. That is policy, that is politics, that's not law. They never came out to say that we are disappointed in this ruling. And because of that one, we will help the OSP or whosoever it is to appeal this ruling, stay the execution, because there are cases that are currently undergoing, going through trial. They never came out to say that in the spirit of oral, in the spirit of fighting corruption, we will help what? Appeal this case, stay the execution, whilst we now go to look for what? A permanent solution if we can find one. That is what I define as political commitment. When you do that, you are saying that, look, it's like you've got a puncture on a tire. You are saying that, look, right now the child, I have a spare tire. Let's quickly put the spare tire, keep the car on the road, whilst we go to look for either a new tire or bigger issue. You are showing commitment, but to just throw in the towel immediately, the first one to say that, bring all the cases, stop all this, it means that either you were expecting it or you showed some relief, some happiness to that happen. That shows poor commitment to corruption, and that point must be made. You can fight. Okay, you see, we've seen this happening. Of this current Attorney General office, throwing the towel at the, we saw that with the multitude of knowledge prosecutors. When they could have allowed courts to determine, they never done that. And we've seen that the least resist and the least something that happens that they do not like, the first thing they do is to give out, is to throw in the towel. Whatever happened to fighting spirits? Whatever happened to saying that I'm going to take the side of this and I'm going to fight this into a logical ending? You mentioned some precedents, yes. Let the courts decide. For me, let the courts decide, let it be part of the record. If your first instance of facing a decision to say, I'm throwing down the towel and I'm going to agree with you when every single CSO is fighting is wrong. I want to sit this here and say, I applaud all the CSOs. Every man, every woman, every organization, every institution that is fighting to make sure that we find a solution, yes. If it means temporarily that getting them the authorization to prosecute, good do that. But if we want to show political or commitment to fighting corruption, which is what we say has been lacking, we need to make sure that we expressly show that people will know where we stand now.
3 minutes for you. Your wrap-up summations.
So we are discussing this matter because a political party in Parliament did a press conference yesterday and brought it to our attention. Matter that is known to all of us. So I'm wondering why that minority party did not first of all find out from the OSP what is preventing the office to engage the Attorney General for that authorization, rather than tell it other way, because it takes you to tango. You did a press conference, so before you had that press conference, you should have gone to the OSP and find out.
So there's been express positions by the Attorney General's office
that they are willing
through its deputy,
that they are willing to give the OSP the authorization. It's ego. It's ego. What you are discussing, ego. I want to show you that I'm so independent when the constitution is so clear
that she come for authorization.
That go for authorization. You say you won't go. Mbano. So for that matter,
what is Mbano?
I won't. For that matter, we are having
Nigerian.
Nigerian language. Which of the Nigerian languages?
Because of that, we are having to discuss this matter. Yeah. So when I was listening to Lawyer Nyako, I was like, but the minority has whatever it takes to go and find out from the OSP why he's not going. He is supposed to go. Why he's not going? That's the first point. Then I hear my brothers have to talk about political commitment. Sometimes posture. We forget about ourselves. Yeah. How many times have we sat here during those days that the MPs were going to sit on the floors of Yoko on the street, protesting why state institutions were going after corrupt officials, allegedly?
I don't understand.
That when people were invited to Yoko, they left jobs that they were supposed to do, for which reason they are paid in parliament, they stopped those job business and went and sat on the street of Yoko protesting.
So you are right. You are right. But both of us have condemned this. Both of us.
Because
NDC MPs have done the same thing. NDC MPs too have also gone to court to do the same thing. It has happened. Both of them have done, and it's wrong.
You cannot take my time this morning.
To the EC and all those.
So we condemn both of them.
I am discussing, when you had the opportunity, you raised the issue of political commitment, and I'm showing the inconsistency in the position that have been taken by your party.
Now, why are you introducing the protest against Yoko and all that?
No, in one breath, they are calling for political commitment from institutions. Now a government comes to power and try very hard to apply this political commitment by going after people that have looted, by going after people that have destroyed our environment. And you have this same political party called the New Patriotic Party, with its members of parliament, including my brother, they are going to sit on the floor. Now they saw you in your white shirt.
The argument was that I was going after opponents.
But if your opponent has looted, which of the MPP's manifesto provision? Constitutional provision.
Where's your evidence of looting?
No.
What is the
my brother. If someone that's an allegation, that's what that is. That is something like a fact. My brother, take your time. You want to sit down. On what basis did you go and sit on the street?
I've noticed that when you are talking, there are a lot of distractions.
No, that's the point. It's not fair. That day you wore white, pure white, to go and sit on the floor. Why do you do that?
Don't pick on.
You understand? What I'm saying is that the party or the government has shown the commitment of going after people that are perceived to have looted the state, which is good. But you have a whole political party through its assigns like Dr. Zato now telling us that there has to be political commitment. I don't get it. Again, this reference to civil society organization and their uproar and Transparency International. Who is Transparency International? How transparent are they? When was the last time Transparency International published their audited financials in this country? Who are those sponsoring the Transparency International?
They are civil society.
Civil society? Do you know those that finance these people? What is their interest? Sometimes you allow people to come into this country and make all sort of noise, and then they run the system without we understanding how the world operates. That there is a body here called Transparency International, and they are saying that by corruption perception indices are, so that must be the gospel truth. One day themselves are not transparent with their dealings.
Really?
Yes. How transparent are they? So what I'm saying is that this administration would be better off if they decide to take the laws, operate with the constitution by relying on the Attorney General, because it has been proven time without number, even at the time that we were being made to believe that there were extradition orders in the US, we were told by Trump side that on multiple requests they were still not getting the docket. You understand? Between the time they sent the extradition orders and the time that a lot of press conferences were being held by this OSP, nobody could believe that I hadn't even gone. And to worsen matters, I go and see the brother of Kenofurata standing side by Tampuli, calling for the OSP to be at position when the OSP is the one prosecuting Kenofurata. I can't take far. I can't take far.
Let me wrap up on this.
That's your problem. If you can't take far, it's your problem.
I can't take far. I can't take far.
Of this platform is to also propose some solutions. It's not only to come here and banter. I think that the OSP, one of the critical things that maybe we have to do is to make sure that the board, it doesn't have a board. The board gives strategic directions to the institution.
Really?
Yeah, and we don't have board. The OSP board is not in place, right? And I'm sure that if the board comes in and they see what is happening, no, the board is not there.
Who is supposed to put in place? If I may ask. Who is supposed to put in place?
The board. Oh, well, it is government that supposed to put in place that. So I think that might be an oversight or something So they should put up the board. The board would give strategic direction to the institution, and the board should be able to put the AG and OSP together so that we can have a smooth running and transition. As to the people, AG and OSP, if there is any ego and the rest, I'm not aware of it.
Can I say something? I don't think you will mind. I think, lawyer, please, is it possible for the AG to just give the OSP a broad authorization? Why not? Or it has to be case by case?
No.
So you can just say you've got it to go.
Yes, you've gotten it. So that's why I'm saying that. So still with that even prosecution, you can do your investigation, you can do your asset tracing, you can call people just like that. So, and I think also that if Parliament also, because they are supposed to publish their cases, corruption that they have done. And I think Parliament can have that oversight responsibility, or the Constitutional and Legal Committee, to find out what exactly are the impediments between the OSP and the Attorney General, so that we can have that smooth transition that at the end of the day, all we want is that we fight corruption.
Okay.
Corruption should be made unattractive for everybody, whether you are my brother, we sit in the same or not. Principles are principles, right? That's it.
All right, this one is coming from lawyer Ogochukwu Nweke. Good morning to you.
You said Mbano.
He says Mbano is Igbo. So greetings.
It's not
to
Nigeria, it's
Solomon.
Igbo. Don't say they say Nigeria. Nigeria is not a language. Say Igbo.
It's a Nigerian language.
You say they say Nigeria.
What
kind of language is that? What kind of language is that? You just say Mbano is in Nigeria. It's not Nigeria, it's Igbo.
He says it's a Nigerian language.
No,
All right.
it is.
Clinical psychologist joining us, also watching strongly. Notidra, good morning to you. He's an ardent viewer of the show. Says that Ghana's double talk when it comes to giving decentralized power is amazing. When has Ghana and the various government, what has Ghana and the various government done with the election of MMDCE's structure, and then also on the District Assembly Common Fund, the DACF, etc.? Our political parties will engage in these clinical or cyclical attention-seeking drama. Even Alan Kojo Chamantin would be singing same if MPP had accorded.
No, Tedria, I disagree with you entirely.
Disagree with what?
I disagree with you entirely.
That was cleared by Kufa.
I don't expect Notebia to come up with this.
Let me
I am
read my
so
comments. Let me read my comment.
I am scandalized.
You of course be scandalized.
Sadly,
Who cares if they are
Solomon and
scandalized?
Co.
Can you imagine?
Yes.
are only active in the media. By the way, is
Well,
Dr.
is he saying
Bawumia
his
still
party
leading the
no?
MPP? We have many political and economic issues. His absence and silence is
No, that one he will not talk about it. Don't worry.
The absence is a known government strategy to retain control through
What about the absence
presidency.
of Alan?
Alan is
and
there
the chief
everywhere.
of staff. And
He was the first person to be cleared
can
by
I
Akufo-Addo.
continue my
Cleared
messages?
by who?
Akufo-Addo.
Akufo-Addo was
Mr. Nia York says,
And he
so
claimed it
basically,
first.
No,
the
he couldn't.
OSP just
He
need to
claimed
request for
public inquiry.
prosecutorial powers
It was a
and
public
case
inquiry.
closed. And to OSP, why can't they work on the petition from Solo on the pickup
Yes,
issues?
that's the first issue for the OSP.
Hey, Solo. Alfred Triddle says that Ghana, my motherland, is not a lawless country. Nobody can be above the law, not even the President of the Republic. Article 88, Clause 4, 5, and 6 are clear. The Attorney General indeed shall have audience in all courts in Ghana, not Afghanistan or Iraq. Alfred Triddle is sending this message. Okay. Joseph Dello, I see your comments as well. And Mani Nimani says the OSP office can be used as an investigative office instead. But who has the OSP prosecutor since it was created? I think the Omonia prosecutions, remember?
I'm so 7 convictions.
I'm saying. Have you, on the right of information law, been able to apply?
But they are currently, this matter was about the rice, the container that some guys at the former office of the vice president stole and gave it to Muslims that were fighting. That's what I brought all this matter. Allegedly.
Master Planner,
Allegedly, something about
Master Planner Jr. says that if President Mahama and his NDC, including Solomon, are not interested in the OSP, they should scrap the office. We are tired of OSP this, OSP that. Our lights are not stable, but we want to do 24-hour economy. They should fix it for us. Master Planner Jr. Kintampo.
Master Planner is what? He said he's going
Why
for
are you commenting on every post?
You leave him.
That comes.
Dry bones. When we talk about dry bones, it's because we are talking about dry bones.
You asked Pastor Brother to send it.
We are talking about dry bones, so it's uncomfortable.
Their mics should be off. Big issue is brought to you by University of Goko. I'll tell you that soon. The OSP, the OSP is simply playing with the minds of Ghanaians. These matters fall squarely within the mandate of the Attorney General, who has both the authority and institutional capacity to handle such cases effectively. We must avoid duplication of roles and creating unnecessary public drama when the law already provides a clear avenue for prosecution. This one is coming from Atukwamina Aikins, second D. We have others as well. I see one from Abi Ohineba Nase. The simple question in all this OSP Bruhaha is that what prejudice will cost the OSP if he goes to ask or request for that authorization? Nase. And then we have others as well. I see Stephen Peng, and then Ni Atukwekwe also sending messages. Caesar, I see yours. And then let me read the last one from Nilante Vanderpoy, former member of Parliament, Odododiodo. He says, I'm surprised that Tampoli and other MPP lawyers in the minority would have a press conference on this OSP issue. In the consideration of this bill in Parliament, we pointed this anomaly to them. At the time I was in Parliament, they ignored and said we were against the fight against corruption. This hypothetical political schemers must be dumped out of our body politics to clean the stage. Was their intention to afford all corporates of corruption and corruption-related cases to go free on appeal in cases that the OSP gets convictions? Neil Ante van der Poy, former member of Parliament, the Odododiodo constituency. And I see others as well. That'll be, gentlemen, thank you for passing through our studios. Enlightening moment. I hope all of you did enjoy the conversation, especially Yamole Yamo and all those who have joined us on our stream. We're grateful for your time this morning. Please keep sharing the streams. I see a couple of you as well. Yamole Yamo, Prince Daniel York, and the rest.
Prince Daniel, you have one
Gerald, Ama, Adelaide, Hallman, Wisdom, I see you as well. And, well, Big Issue is sponsored by the University of Gold Coast. Now, whether you're aiming for that specialist MBA in marketing communication, operations, supply chain, human resource management, finance, international relations, theology, etc., everything is available. Dual MBA, they have Chartered Manager MBA. The University of Gold Coast has been able to put together various programs. So whether you're a worker or not, they are able to give you the opportunity to learn. You pay in installment as well. They have April admissions today. So this is what you need to do. Make sure that you touch base with them. Go onto their online portals and then also their social media handles and apply today. The April admissions are open. You can also call them on the number that will enable you to call them directly or reach them, 026 388 8555. We're taking a break. We'll be right back with the latest sports headlines. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
It was meant to protect them. Now every journey begins with doubt.
Me sure Alfred, bon let him Bradfred in way. Let him be late. Ah, me just stand here.
Well, what for na fe e gbe me din se din bile po anaku lo lo 2 months ni ba ko lo
Teshi London Bay airs on Wednesday, April 22 on TV3 and all our digital media platforms at 9 p.m.
It was meant to protect them. Now every journey begins with doubt.
Me sure Alfred, bon let him Bradfred in way. Let him be late. Ah, me just stand here.
Well, what for na fe e gbe me din se din bile po anaku lo lo 2 months ni ba ko lo
Teshi London Bay airs on Wednesday, April 22 on TV3 and all our digital media platforms at 9 p.m.
And it's still here on Newday on TV3. It's time for sports. The Mutala Yakubu is here. Hi, Mutala.
Hi.
It's been a while.
Yeah. I've been seeing you around, but not in the studios.
Yes, I hope all is well.
By His grace, I'm fine. Yourself?
Carlos Quiros, great. I'm well. It's finally.
You are one of the few people to mention the name right. Carlos Quiros.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, he's heading here, right?
Yeah, finally. Would be in Ghana tomorrow at the Alisa Hotel at 1 p.m. That will be the first time he's speaking to the Ghanaian media and also being unveiled to Ghanaians. The 73-year-old was hired some 2 weeks ago. We've been talking about it, his experience and what he brings to bear. So finally, he will be speaking to the nation, State of the Nation address, a proper one from him.
Yes.
But before that, we had to hit the streets as 3 Sports, as we always do, to also find out from Ghanaians, because not everyone will be there to ask him questions. So we hit the street to ask a few people about what they think he needs to change within the Black Stars to ensure he backs the success.
Okay, so we'll bring that, but we have to make sure he gets jollof for lunch.
Oh, well, definitely he would get the jollof for lunch, but he needs to work, and the work starts tomorrow,
yes,
right at the Alisa Hotel. So let's have a listen to Ghanaians.
With the Black Stars at the World Cup.
We are just hopeful.
Yes, hopeful.
Yeah, we are just hopeful.
Will Ghana qualify from a group stage?
If they are determined, I think if they are really determined to qualify, I believe in Black Stars. I know that they can.
If he tries his possible best and talks to the guys who call the quality players, no instructed by people at the GFA to call, and I'm sure he can do his best.
Currently, the Black Star team, you see that there's always more individual performance more than teamwork. So we have to fix this teamwork and unity. It doesn't have to be someone wants to do best and take the praise or something. You have to let them understand that this is for the nation, and they have to come together and work together.
I want the team, I want the coach to do reasonable call-outs. I mean, those deserve to be called should be called. Yeah, that's the only thing I'm expecting from the coach.
I think he should take a look at our local team players, because more time the club team players, when they come, they don't perform. But I think we have a lot of qualities in our local teams, so they need to fix our players. They need to give them the chance to play, and we should see them. It's better to give them the chance to play more than the foreigners, because when they come, we don't see anything properly in their football.
The experience and the teams that he has coached, I think this is not the first time taking a national team to a World Cup. He has experience. He has been with World Cup with Iran for I think 2 or 3 times, and then also I think Portugal. So he has all the experience. He has what it takes to take Ghana to maybe round of 16 or maybe quarterfinal. I have belief in him that he can do it, because he have vast experience that he can do it.
But I like the cautious optimism. Nobody seems to be 100% optimistic.
No, it's all because of the way the Black Stars have conducted themselves in the last couple of months. So hopes are not really high. But maybe let's see if Kyrgios comes in, what he says, the 2 friendly games that are ahead of us, we play, and then we'll see our smoothness level. Maybe Ghanaians, the confidence will be back. But as it stands, confidence is extremely low because of the recent defeat we even had against Austria and Germany.
Anyway, the Milo Under-13 Championship.
Yes, the annual tournament, one that unearths a lot of talent in Ghana, currently ongoing in the Western region. This time, Esipon Sports Stadium is hosting the Milo Under-13 Champions League. It's one of the best competitions we've had in the country by a mile, because it's been able to unearth a lot of talent. Most of the young boys have gone through the system and have been able to get to a decent level in their professional careers.
They're distributed in teams
Of course,
the country.
in teams. This time we are having 16 teams who have been grouped in 4 groups of 4, and they will be playing to see the winner. We've even had a winner going to South Africa to compete before. It's a huge tournament which is coming off at the Esipon Stadium, and it started yesterday. That is the arrival of team screening, coaches, and there's always a soccer clinic. The ambassadors for Milo Under-13 Championship this time is 2 legends, Asamoah Gyan and Stephen Appiah, who has always been a Milo ambassador.
The kids don't have a
yeah, they don't have a problem. So they host the soccer clinic, they teach the kids, tell them about football, what they need to do to be able to get to the stage that they got to in their career. But today is actually the opening ceremony. Then we have the group stage. Then we have Thursday, the group stage will continue together with the quarterfinals. Then on Friday, big one, quarterfinal, semi-final, we cleared that out of the way. Saturday will be a third place, then the final match on Saturday as well. So 2 games, the third place and the final game. Then Sunday, teams will depart to their various places. But these are the groups that you see on your screen. Kwanta, Presby. It's for kids, so it's under 13, so you should know. It's for basic schools. And it gives me a lot of joy because that is one way to develop your grassroots football. Kintampo Presby also in their old Waroto MA primary school. They are from Oti. Yalega EA primary school as well from the Upper East. So it's mainly from the regions and everyone is given an opportunity. So it's not a case where teams are selected from just Accra and Kumasi. It's spread across the 16 regions to be able to give every child who dreams of becoming a professional footballer the opportunity. So a lot of groups, as I said, 16 teams grouped in group of 4 will be competing. We have teams from Bono, Northern, Savannah, Upper East, all the regions, all the 16 regions. So it's going to be very interesting, and we are hoping that we'll be bringing you more updates, especially on our socials, R3 Sports GH. We'll be covering this tournament in full and bringing you some exclusive interviews as well.
I think I should make time to go watch any of these games. It'll be interesting.
Of course, just fly to Takrady, get to the Sipo and see the kids battling it out there.
It will be nice to watch, yes. Leicester City dominating the games.
Leicester City used to dominate, but sad one for them. Yesterday, they were relegated from the Championship to League One. So now they are playing in the 3rd year of English football. This is a team that 10 years ago won the English Premier League. Big one for them. Then a few years after winning the English Premier League, they lost their owner through a helicopter crash. I mean, since then, they've never recovered. This is the same team that our captain Jordan Ayew plays for and our winger Fatai Isahaku plays for. They were relegated from the English Premier League to the Championship, and they were looking at getting back into the English Premier League, but it didn't go well. They've now been relegated to League One, which in Ghana would be like a 3rd division of Ghana
like 11
football.
Wonders kind of position.
Yes, a 3rd division in Ghana football, and it's not good for them. You see Fatai Isahaku having conversation with some of these teammates, but it has been rumored or reported that Fatai Isahaku is being eyed by some big clubs, so he not play in the League One. He would actually secure a move. But for Jordan Ayew, maybe this could be the end of his career at Leicester City. So there you see their timeline. Their rise and fall. Actually, they were promoted to the Premier League in 2014. Then 2 years after, they won the Premier League, which was against all odds. Then 2025, we saw them relegated to the Championship. 2026, they were battling to qualify back to the Premier League, but unfortunately, they've suffered another relegation, this time to the League One.
Really not good news for them.
Not good news at all for Jordan Ayew, especially captain, who we would have wished would have a clear mind and be in a happy mood, because you don't see Jordan often smiling. So we wanted to see Jordan smile and bring that vibe to the Black Stars, but unfortunately for them, another hit. They are going to the League One. Let's see if they would actually do their homework or battle and qualify back to the Championship. Then they can think or dream of the Premier League.
But beyond Leicester, I hope there's some good news on the side of the European English Premier League. Good
news for other teams, bad news for Chelsea. It's been a very torrid time for them. Yesterday, they lost another game against Brighton. That is how painful it becomes. These are the last 8 games that Chelsea have played. Remember, Paris Saint-Germain tore them apart, home and away, so they lost 5-2, then they lost 3-0 as well. Newcastle also coming to the break to beat them, Everton beating them 3. Then their only win within these 8 games came against Port Vale in the FA Cup. They beat them by 7 goals, and everyone thought Chelsea was back. Against Manchester City, they lost 3-0. Manchester United last week, they lost 1-0. Then against Brighton and Hove Albion yesterday, they lost 3-0 again. So Chelsea are in some crisis. How they are going to ditch themselves out of these trenches, it's only God that knows. Because Liam Rosenwa, their new coach, seem not to figure out where the problem is. He can't just wrap up his head around where the problem is, and he can't solve the issue for them. So it looks like Chelsea may be missing out of Champions League football.
Yeah, it's just amazing how when they scored one, everybody thought they were back. But when Arsenal loses one, everybody thinks that, you know, the team is gone. But
yes.
Anyway, what else do you need to do?
Yes, a few days to the World Cup, less than 60 days to the World Cup. And as usual, we have our World Cup minutes.
The biggest World Cup ever deserves the biggest stage. In 2026, the FIFA World Cup will be played across 3 countries, the United States, Mexico, and Canada, in a historic first. The United States leads the way with 11 host cities featuring iconic venues like the MetLife Stadium in New York, Sophie Stadium in Los Angeles, and AT&T Stadium in Dallas. In Mexico, football history runs deep, with matches set for the legendary Estadio Azteca Stadium in Mexico City, alongside Guadalajara and Monterrey. Canada joins the party with games in Toronto and Vancouver, bringing World Cup action to new fans and new stages. In total, 16 cities and over 100 matches will create a continental festival of football like never before. 1 tournament, 3 nations, where stadium will host history.
The latest we brought you there. But thank you very much, the Mutala Yakubu, for bringing us the latest in sports as well. And you're still here on Newday on TV3. When we come back, we'll bring you some more. Don't go away.
It was meant to protect them. Now every journey begins with doubt.
Me so afraid. Bon let him Bradford in way. Let him be late. Ah, me just stand here.
What for na fe the making say dem bile pe anaku lo 2 months na ba ko
Teshi London Bay airs on Wednesday, April 22 on TV3 and all our digital media platforms at 9 p.m.
It was meant to protect them. Now every journey begins with doubt.
Me so afraid.
pour le chemo Bradford in way le lembilete ah me just stand here nyema je chale no
wa fo na fe egbe me din se din bile po anakulo lulu 2 months ne ba ko lulu
Teshi London Bay airs on Wednesday, April 22 on TV3 and all our digital media platforms at 9 p.m.
It was meant to protect them. Now every journey begins with doubt.
Me so afraid pour le chemo Bradford in way le lembilete ah me just stand here nyema je chale no
wa fo na fe egbe me din se din bile po anakulo lulu 2 months ne ba ko
Teshi London Bay airs on Wednesday, April 22 on TV3 and all our digital media platforms at 9 p.m.
It was meant to protect them. Now every It was meant to protect them. Now every journey begins with doubt.
Me so afraid pour le chemo Bradford in way le lembilete ah me just stand here nyema je chale no
Well, what for na fe experiment nche den bile pe anakulo lolo. 2 months na ba ko lolo.
Teshi London Bay airs on Wednesday, April 22 on TV3 and all our digital media platforms at 9 p.m.
Bay is a construction which is supposed to help fishermen dock their canoes and also helps them launch their canoes to go fishing. It is like a small harbor. So what we have in Tema, for example, is a big harbor. We have one in Jamestown as well. But a landing bay is a mini version, like a much smaller version. It doesn't have the qualities of a harbor, but some of the qualities are present in landing bay. So from the construction, from what you see when you look at it, it looks like a pile of rocks, which is supposed to divide some part of the ocean to stop the waves from coming from one side, so that the fishermen can.
I've seen that even along the Sakumono.
Exactly. No, that looks like a sea defense. Well, I can't really speak to the one in Sakumono, but it looks like that. That construction of rocks, so that on one side where the waves no longer come, the fishermen will park their canoes, and then on the other side, when they are coming from fishing, they're able to stop and dock, remove the fish. It helps for proper and hygienic handling of fish, so they don't put it on the sand when they come out. If you bought fish from the shore, sometimes you see that when they come back, it's all down there. All right, so that is what a landing bay is supposed to do for the people. But in respect of this documentary and the landing bay in Teshi, I set out to go on a fishing expedition with the fishermen in Teshi. I come from Teshi, and Teshi is a fishing community.
Of course.
And growing up, I never got the chance to go close to the sea, watch the fishermen, nothing of the sort, because I was on the other side. I grew up in Triblo, Teshi Triblo. Now, for those on the Mami side, you could see the fishermen go and come every day. So this is an opportunity for me to explore and find out what happens in the day in the life of a fisherman.
You've got a teaser to this. Let's watch the teaser so we can understand.
Look in na ye she incho. She ga na ji fe chua te. Mpoto po fe bra ya ke ma yin ne patan ke last ne shwe ke won show me de la bibio.
When safety fails, who pays the price?
Okay, coming soon, but it's sooner than you think. It's this evening, 9 p.m. right here on TV3. But let's get into the discussion. So you've just shown us the landing bay, the black patch, so the long black patch.
Yes, so that's a construction that enters the ocean and divides it in such a way that on one side, the fishermen are able to dock their canoes, and then on the other side, so the waves end. It ends the waves, so that the waves don't come to the parking side to carry the canoes away when they are parked.
What is made of that patch we see? Is it like stones?
Yeah, it's rocks.
Like
rocks, like very large rocks.
Oh, okay.
Very large rocks. I mean, an engineer will be able to speak to it properly, to speak to the constituents of the construction, but from a layman's point of view, it looks like a pile of rocks, but it's been properly done, so it's compact. Okay, so the point of this story is that I did go on the expedition with the fishermen. We went to sea. We set out around 4:30 a.m. in the morning with lanterns, and we poured libation. Women are not supposed to go to sea. It's not allowed. It's a taboo. And so in order for them to take me with them, we had to pour libation. They had to do a lot of permissions had to be sought.
Wow.
And then I went with them. So I asked them what their biggest fear was. Fishing, because I saw a lot of things happening. The canoe is not stable. It goes like this and like that. It basically goes with the waves. It's like this and like that. The smell of the ocean in the middle of the ocean.
It will make you nauseous.
It's a difference. It's different. Like it smells like the inside of a fish.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I've heard that before.
Many times when they cast the nets, they had to go inside the water to go and fix something or something.
Wow.
So there were a lot of jumping overboard. Now, they have no life jackets, nothing of the sort. And so I was very concerned I wore a life jacket.
You had one?
I got a life jacket. So I asked them what some of their fears were in this occupation. And I expected them to talk about the tides. Like you're out and it starts raining suddenly.
Yes.
You know, the canoe is open. Anything can happen. It could capsize. And they said, oh, if it capsizes, they'll jump back in. I mean, those things are not what they're afraid of. So I asked, what then are you afraid of in this line of work? And they said, the landing bay.
This very landing bay that's close to the land.
Exactly.
Why?
So that
Why?
totally changed the trajectory of the purpose
Your
of my being
expedition.
there. And I asked them, why? Why are you afraid of the landing bay? It was constructed to keep your canoe safe and give you safe landing.
Yes.
And they said, Kejabe ni akenekete ne bashwebi ene. Mea ni bi ni ehie patan. Kela ni eshweshie eye musunshan.
Please, in English.
What does that mean?
It
English,
means
please.
that ever since the construction of the landing bay, the number of people who have died and the number of canoes that have been destroyed is painful. And so I asked more questions. What do you mean? Then they started to explain to me that before the landing bay was constructed, when they are docking, when they come back from sea, the waves carry them. The wind also carries them towards a certain direction. That is why that is where they always dock.
Okay.
Is the direction of the wind. It will bring you there. So at some point, they will turn off the engine, and then the wind will bring you towards that direction.
Okay.
Now, the landing bay has been constructed in that direction. So when they are coming, and the wind carries them, it carries them into the landing bay. Do you understand?
Yes.
We're
So
trying to
Before
get
the bay, before
the
it was
canoe crashes
constructed,
into it?
yes, before it was constructed, it carries them to the land over there.
Okay, but now that
the bay has been put there,
okay,
the wind carries the whole canoe and it crashes
into the landing bay.
So the
that's
canoe
why
is
they
destroyed.
die.
People die. Basically, your head, like you crash into it. So you crash into it.
Wow.
So you are at the mercy of the wind. So they pour libation. They pray that the winds don't come. So when they go to sea, they are safe. But when they are coming back, it is a matter of life and death.
Who constructed the landing bay?
So the landing bay is part of many landing bays and harbors, which was constructed by the Ministry of Transport with the supervision of the GPHA.
Okay.
And there were many of them that were to be constructed, one in Discov, one in Elmina, one in Teshi, among others. I have had the opportunity to visit some others, especially the one in Jamestown, to find out whether they have similar problems. But according to the folk in Jamestown, they have their problems, but they don't have this particular problem. And in the documentary, I actually interviewed some of them, and they speak to the problems in Teshi, and they explain that as fishermen, sometimes they want to go other places to fish, but they don't go to Teshi anymore because, in their words, it's a thing of death that has been put there.
Yeah.
So,
which is the landing bay?
That is what they say. Yeah. So that's the testimony of the fishermen.
How long has it been there?
I think. I need to come back to you on that, but the conversations about this construction started in 2008.
Okay.
All
right. From the time it was constructed, from the time they started recording these number of deaths and all of that.
From the time from the time it was handed over, and I'll come back with a date.
Have they raised concerns? Have they spoken to government?
Yes.
Have they spoken to the transport ministry?
Yes.
And
so
what has been done?
They have written some memos and letters to the GPHA to complain. In fact, according to the fishermen, when the construction started, they disagreed with the construction. They didn't want it.
But they still went ahead and did
because of the direction. They told the contractors that the direction is bad, it will cause problems. But I mean, in the doc, you hear one of the men say, well, he is not an engineer and he's nobody. And so I suppose the engineers knew better. And they came to a place of acceptance that the engineers knew better. But they always knew that this would be a problem. But till date, they have complained. I think there has been some dialogue.
Now, so what are we seeing on the screen right now? One of the crashed canoes?
This is a destroyed canoe.
Wow.
And the canoes, by the way, they say is 200 million. How much is that in new Ghana cedis? 200
million Ghana cedis?
No, that is old cedis.
So it's 20,000 cedis.
No.
20,000.
20,000,
yeah. Ka keble machuchu 200 million, 20,000 Ghana cedi ni.
Oh, 20? 20,000. 200 million. Okay.
20,000, yeah.
Okay, so that's at least how much they need to repair a canoe.
Oh, to repair it, not to construct a new one?
No. So I think the cost of the type of timber they use, the cost of the motor that they use to power it and other things. So they need at least 20K for the repairers, and they don't carry it to the carpenters or whoever. They come to the beach to repair
because they cannot take it.
So it's very expensive to repair. That's if it is repairable.
Yeah.
But oftentimes it's totally destroyed. But that is the smallest of the problem. The problem is the people dying.
Yes, because
in addition to the canoe crashing, it's another problem. Children are dying too.
Yes,
and this is why.
I
spoke to a few women who had lost their children. This is why the children go to the beach to swim.
Okay.
Two problems here.
Right.
Before the construction of the bay, and this is not a technical problem, but it is a problem that exists for the people in the community. When the fishermen sit on the beach, they are able to see beyond the shore. And so oftentimes there have been near drowning incidents.
But they see
and they will see you immediately. I mean, if anyone swims at the beach, they know this. If someone is drowning, they can see you immediately and they can spot exactly where you are and they will come and save you. In fact, while we were on the expedition, they encouraged me to go into the water and that I shouldn't worry, I can jump.
Okay,
they can see where you fall, where you're falling, and they'll come and take you. But I considered a few things, among other things, the children who depend on me and decided not to
Your
go.
house people, they are not lenient
not
like
today,
that.
Not today. So the problem now is that when children are swimming, you can't see.
Wow.
And that is where, that has been the place they have lived and fished and swum for many years. And so they can't see. And so a lot of drowning incidents have happened where it happened on their blind side. Second point, they say that the arrangement of the rocks, among other things, has left some holes, they call it, in the construction, but it's not visible to the eyes under the water.
Wow.
And so if you don't know, they in the community now, they know. But if you come from Nungwa or another place, you probably would not know. And you go and swim over there, you can fall in and get trapped.
Aye.
So the woman who says that, so one of the women,
yes.
the one who said Bradford, her child's name is Fred, he fell in there and he couldn't come out. Another child also fell in there and has not yet come out. So they, till date, have not found his body. And he remains, well, I don't know where he is, but he has not been found. This woman in the scarf, her baby has not come back yet. Yes, so that's the other problem.
Now, what was the most difficult part of filming this documentary?
Listening to the women.
Okay.
Yeah. It was so difficult to film them. So even in the film, you realize they don't feature for long. It was so difficult to film them.
Emotionally,
yes, emotionally. They couldn't talk. I couldn't talk. So for most of the tape, while I was editing, most of the tape is just empty, no sound. Like we both just sat there. Because after they have told you that the child died, there's nothing more to say.
Yeah.
And it's not something they want to talk about, especially for those whose children have not come back. As a mother, you just hope that somebody found your child and is somewhere, you come back and, So it's not something they want to go on about. But the truth is that the expectation is if a child falls in there and they have looked for the child consistently and diligently for some time and did not find the child, the mother would say that, well, the child, the child.
Right?
It's difficult.
We've sent the child and the child is not.
There are also people who are injured. So people who crashed into it, thankfully they didn't die. But one of the men I spoke to, his waist and so from his back, waist, and his hip bone is permanently fractured. Wow. And so he cannot walk properly.
So what do they think the permanent solution is?
They say they want it removed.
The landing bay, right?
Yes.
Okay.
They say they want it removed. At first, they were asking for it to be fixed.
Okay.
But when you ask them, how can it be fixed?
Okay.
Because surely we cannot change the direction of the wind.
Okay.
Do you want to start fishing on another side? They said it doesn't work like that. Okay. There is a side where we fish.
So that's the question I want to ask. So this landing bay versus when it wasn't there, were they dying?
No.
They were not dying.
Yeah.
No.
No missing children.
No.
Nothing like
No.
that. So the landing bay is the problem.
That is what they say.
For all these years.
Yes, that is
and
what
they've
they say.
recorded all these number of deaths, and we've not been able to remove it up until now.
Yes.
And I'm sure that's why your documentary is very essential.
Yeah.
And it's showing this evening, 9 p.m. Maybe this is what we needed for that landing bay to be removed so lives can be saved. Who do you want to say thank you to in the Teshi enclave for this
Yes, oh
documentary?
boy. I want to say thank you to the Wulacheme. The Wulacheme in Teshi. They, from the get-go, were so committed, so dedicated. We had so many meetings before we even went to sea. I mean, the kind of preparation they gave me to be able to get onto that canoe, to go out there, was massive. So first, the Wulacheme. Thank you so much. Then to the MCE, Israel Ajete Ochema, the MCE, and the assembly members in Teshi, key among them, Reese Nyamakwe and, I've forgotten his name, but the assembly member for Maming, for Action. His name is Action.
Nakachole.
Yeah, his name is Action.
Okay.
He took me to all the houses. It was a lot of work, Cookie, a lot of work.
I can imagine.
And also to my crew, to Paula, my little sister, Paula Mensadoku, she directed this documentary, and my DOP and editor, Bernard Isianyo, S-Ben. Oh, you know him? and everybody who worked on it, my favorite uncle in Teshi,
Yeah, and everyone in the newsroom.
Uncle Chosa, and everyone from Mabel Akubanase, and Astus Ahiangle. So I'm taking my time to mention Ahiangle. Yeah, Astus Ahiangle, and the team here at TV3. Thank you so much for how much work has gone into this. We had to make sure that we got it right. I also did some work with the Ministry of Transport and GPHA in order to get information about the construction when it was done, government intervention, and why we are where we are. So to the Ministry of Transport and GPHA, I'd also like to give them some credit.
So when these kids go and they do not come back, how long or how many years does it take for family and friends to sit down and say, okay, we accept, the person is dead?
Well, legally 7 years.
Okay.
Legally, if a person disappears after diligent search for 7 years and they are not found, there is a presumption that they have died. Okay. But it's different for the families, you know. The community wants to move on. But the woman you saw, well, you will see in the docu, she still has his school uniforms, his school bag. She's waiting for him.
And he's been missing for how long?
He's been missing. So we shot this in December, and by that time he had been missing for 6 months.
Oh.
So it's almost who showed us the white shoes.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's been another 4 months,
yeah,
so 10 months now.
So wow. So almost a year. So so for her, you know. And the other thing is, a lot of the fishermen are out of work. They don't work.
Because there's money about.
That is one. And the other thing is, when canoes are destroyed, oftentimes they are canoe masters. The canoes belong to some other people.
Okay.
And then the fishermen use it. And so it's like Uber. Okay. So you go and come, you bring the money, like that. A lot of them are out of work. One canoe takes about 15 fishermen.
Okay.
So 2 canoes
So if
destroyed,
one canoe is not working, that's 15 people out of business.
15 families.
2 of them is 30.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
And if they are dying, it means that maybe out of 15, God forbid, 5 or 6 could go at a time.
That is a you see, that's a difficult reality to accept. And so the wind is blowing a little bit. Okay, Menaya, you know, they pray and they wait. It's about they will pour libation and pray, and it's scary every time. So like they said, when they go fishing, what they fear most is coming back.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, Obomode, congratulations for this bravery. I want to say it in Gaba, it won't come out well. It will. Let's keep it at that. So be on the lookout for this one, 9 p.m. tonight, right here on TV3, and Na and everyone who was involved in this. God bless you so much. It's a beautiful job that has been done. But please make sure that you're tuned in to TV3. We would also stream live on Facebook at TV3 this evening. So just in case you're not by a television set, you can also catch it on your smartphone or tablet. You are done.
Oh, just look out for the documentary, please, tonight. And also, it will show tomorrow morning on TV3 Newday. So,
Can you beat it over morning? Oh, no. Okay.
Your guy is not bad at all.
Yeah. No, just that when I speak it, you know I'm not gone. Yeah, you know I'm not gone. All right, we take a break now. We'll be back with a little bit more before we wrap up for today. Stay with us.
It was meant to protect them. Now every journey begins with doubt.
Me sure Fred, bon let him Bradfred in way. Let him be late. Ah, me just stand here.
Well, what for na fe xenophobia nse din bile po anakulo lulu 2 months na ba ko
Teshi London Bay airs on Wednesday, April 22 on TV3 and all our digital media platforms at 9 p.m.
It was meant to protect them. Now every journey begins with doubt.
Me sure Fred, bon let him Bradfred in way. Let him be late. Ah, me just stand here.
Well, what for na fe xenophobia nse din bile po anakulo lulu 2 months na ba ko
Teshi London Bay airs on Wednesday, April 22 on TV3 and all our digital media platforms at 9 p.m.
A lot more for you, right, Cookie?
Just a bit more, not a lot more, just a bit more because we are about to wrap up. So yes, please be on the lookout for that documentary this evening, 9 p.m. right here on TV3. We'll be streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube as well. So please make sure, even if you can't watch TV, you can watch it on your tablets or your smartphone. But a few reminders before we go. The Business Financial Times is set to host the 3rd edition of the Women in Business WIB Dialogue Series 2026 under the theme From Market to Market Leader, empowering women, SME, and young people, young women who are in agri-business. I'll bring you the information on that one later. Let's do birthdays. And for those of you who've played Cash Out this morning, it's time for you to win. Coco, what's happening on the dashboard? Let's see what's happening on the dashboard so that we can start rewarding those who have won. Okay, whilst we work on that, let's take a musical break. We'll be right back. Okay. Reminding you that this Sunday, April 26th, at the National Theatre, Talented Kids Season 17 comes to an end. The grand finale is this Sunday, so you need to pay 50 Ghana cedis to witness 5 incredible young stars: Jasper Bloom, DJ Zeb, Ino, the poet, Poet Alicia, and Queen Dessa. They are all battling it out for the ultimate title. It's talent, it's energy, and it's entertainment, inspiration, all in one show. Please don't miss the fun. Talented Kids Season 17 finale, Sunday, 26th of April at the National Theatre, 3 p.m. sharp. It's just 50 Ghana cedis, and tickets are available right here at the TV3 premises. Talented Kids, free to play. All right, let's get into birthdays now. We're still working on the dashboard for cashing out. We're just having a little challenge, but we're working on it. I'm sure by the time we are through with the birthdays, we'll have it running up and running so we can dish out the monies to you. Let's get into birthdays now, ladies and gentlemen. If it's your birthday, you are blessed and highly favored. Mami Sewa, CEO of Cupcake Boutique, yesterday was your birthday. Happy birthday again, darling. I hope that you had a very, very great one. Sena Fiawoli Klim Womeko. Grace and abundance to you. Happy birthday. moving on to also celebrate another person for today, the 22nd of April, 2020. Oh, I love his name. I love the way he calls
Stanley
his name.
Niblo.
Yes, when he does his reports.
Yes.
Stanley Niblo. Yes, Stanley Niblo. It's from all of us here at Media General. God bless you so much. Congratulations on all the hard work that you do. We see you and we love you. God bless you so much, Stanley Niblo. Agnes Stoke, happy birthdays from your entire family. All right. Madame Mabel Aldo, she's got my mother's name. Headmistress of Forces Special Crèche and Nursery School, Bermacamp. Happy birthday, ma'am. Prince Ajete, God bless your new age is from your sister, Senam. Okay. Let's move on. Sammy D. Taylor of Senya Breku, God bless you so much. Okay. Mrs. Anna Emisa, Grandma, you look so beautiful.
Yeah.
Happy birthday. Your gray hair looks
It's
so
lovely.
gorgeous. Happy birthday, Grandma. Okay. Na Ache, right? I got that correctly. More blessings to you and your household. Happy birthday, Na. Joyce Ajoa Nyako. Adowa or is it Ajoa?
Ajoa.
Ajoa Meboa. Adowa.
It's Adowa.
Adowa. Okay.
Yes.
God bless you. It's from your loved ones. Enjoy your day. I love your American inspired picture. Oh, Akosia AJ.
And I love the
3
picture.
Sports. Oh, Akosia. This picture
lovely.
looks so dainty
It's
and so lovely.
Wow.
Akosia, happy birthday to you. It's from all of us and especially all the boys at 3 Sports. God bless you so much. All right. Hey, Joe Bwampong. And no, no. Okay, happy birthday, darling. Sabroche picture, I'm sorry, Sabroche. Felicia Vanilla. Wow, Vanilla Masupe. I've never heard anyone called Vanilla.
Yeah.
It's just the ice cream flavor I know. Wow. Felicia Vanilla Masupe. Macho love is from your big brother Julius. Happy birthday, Felicia. Richard Isaac, being your wife is something I cherish every single day. It's from your wife, AC.
Wow.
Happy birthday, Richard Isaac. Okay, Daddy. Believe Buanyame of Pando, wishing you good health and peace. It's from Skido. Mamaga, happy birthday. Nanajwa, God bless you, make you great. I think you're a health personnel, you're a nurse. God bless you so much. Okay. Makafui Precious, God bless you and make you great. It's from Kweku Mosti. Okay. Priscilla Echa Chumesi and Ne Eyawa Woda Nyami Inshara Bebre. It's from all the church members. God bless you. All right. Mrs. Joyce and Kuma Jima, it's your special day as well. It's from all your church members. Happy birthday. Bernard Tay, praying for grace and many other beautiful moments and blessings for you. It's from your wife, Lavina Tay. Happy birthday, Bernard. Samuel Ejekum, Media Today. May God bless you. It's from Kwame Amando. Happy birthday, Sam. Okay. Miss Berry of Ritual Cosmetics in Makola. And Nedia, Yebabe Duda, Bebre. Happy birthday, darling. Okay. Let's also move on celebrating Mr. and Miss. Wow, they both have the same birthday?
That's amazing.
Wow. Can we bring it back? Mr. and Mrs. Mr. and Mrs. Can we bring it back? Okay, let's just do Dr. Jackson Nyantechi, Ashanti Original Boss EPA. It's from all your children. Big Boss, happy birthday to you. Miss Betty Esaba of Beteba Beauty Parlor, happy birthday to you. Okay, Gregory Amwa, God bless you so much. Happy birthday. Let's move on to Mr. and Mrs. Ejekum Sam. How do you both have your birthdays in the same day?
Yeah.
So when they wake up in the morning, someone says happy birthday, the other person says
It's
happy
so
birthday.
lovely,
Wow.
isn't it?
Okay. All right. Let's move on. Happy Golden Jubilee. Oh, happy 50th to you. They didn't add your name, but happy birthday to you, ma'am. Okay. May your dreams come true. This one too, there's no name. Oh, Stanley, you didn't add the name of the beautiful lady. Stanley Niblo. Oh, Bomodi. All right, let's go on. Elizabeth Agaji, happy birthday to you. All right. From Bismarck here. Evans Amwako Kranche, God bless you so much. It's from the Kranche family. Okay. Emerald of being photo shooting some kids with your coach bag.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And the hair.
Yeah. Happy birthday, little one. Happy birthday. All right. Pastor Justice Queenson Edriafo, God richly bless you. Nicholas Amo, happy birthday to you is from Kelvin. All right. To all of you celebrating your birthdays, happy birthday. Be blessed. Tomorrow, God willing, we will be right back at 6 a.m. I am Cookie T and I did this with
Beatrice Edu.
Enjoy the rest of our programming. See you tomorrow morning.